Welcome to Good Morning Wake County, where we skip the noise and start the day with something good. Today's stories might sound like music, feel like a miracle, and walk you straight into a field of hope. I'm Steve, and I've got 3 stories today that might just move your feet, your heart, and maybe even your soul. It began with hunger. Not just the kind that grumbles in your stomach, but the kind that lingers for generations. In the middle of a pandemic, in a quiet Wake Forest garage, a few people gathered. Folding chairs, some borrowed instruments, and one mission: to remember by serving. You ever hear bagpipes echoing down Holding Avenue and wonder, why? Well, it turns out that sound carries a lot more than music. Back in 2020, Dennis O'Brien started a band, but not just any band, a pipe and drum corps named An Gorda Mór. It's Gaelic for the Great Hunger. That name reaches all the way back to the Irish famine that killed over 1 million people and sent millions more into exile, including members of my own family tree. If you dig deep enough, aren't a whole lot of us transplants around here? In fact, here in my part of Wake County, you know what a halfback is? It's what we call someone from New York who moved to Florida and then settled here. Dennis and a few friends from the Ancient Order of Hibernians began practicing in his garage. You could smell the musty summer heat, hear the squeal of a beginner's chanter, and see folks tapping their feet, even if they weren't quite in tune yet. With help from local sponsors and the American Legion Hall, they grew not just in size, but in purpose. Today, the band raises money for hunger relief, runs food drives, and welcomes anyone who wants to learn. No musical background needed, just show up on a Wednesday night in Wake Forest. I've heard the band play, and not only can you feel it in your body, but your heart as well. As Dennis puts it, we honor those victims of the Great Irish Famine by actively engaging in hunger relief in our local community. So if you hear a piper playing somewhere downtown, that's not just tradition, it's remembrance, it's roots, and it's hope wrapped in tartan and tuned to serve. Funny how a garage band became a lifeline, not just for the hungry, but for the heart. If you already feel this is worth your time to listen, boop that like button, give me a review, give it a little love. It helps more folks find this, and visit tapyournews.com to sign up for the free daily email. Suggest a town we should cover, or just send me a message. It was just after 6:30 on a Sunday evening in Wendell. Families were winding down their weekends. At one apartment complex, the saltwater pool shimmered in the fading light. Laughter echoed, and summer was doing what summer does best. And then it stopped. At the Gladwin Wendell Falls apartment, a 2-year-old had slipped beneath the surface. No drama, no shouting, just one of those moments that turns the world on its side. By the time police arrived, EMS and fire crews were already there, fast, focused, all hands in. And it worked. The victim was both conscious and alert. And that's all we needed to hear. Wake County EMS took the toddler to the hospital just to be sure. But here's the thing. That little one got to leave in the back of an ambulance alive, awake, and with a future still intact. And that's where this story changes from fear to wonder, because that child, that tiny human, now has a chance to grow up and chase fireflies, scrape knees, ace spelling test, and someday maybe do something the world needs. Maybe they'll build something. Maybe they'll heal someone. Maybe they'll simply love people just amazingly well. Whoever they become, they get to become. And the world, it gets to find out who this kid is meant to be. It could have ended in silence, but instead it ended in breath, in life, in one more bedtime story. And if you ask me, that's a miracle right here, right now, worth waking up grateful for. Meanwhile, just a few towns away, Something beautiful was unfolding on foot. If you found yourself near Town Hall Drive in Morrisville this past Saturday, you might have thought you'd stumbled into a festival. Bright colors, laughter, food trucks, and yes, about 1,200 pairs of sneakers hitting the pavement with purpose. It was the 5th annual NAMI Walks event where over 1,000 neighbors gathered not just to walk a 5K, but to take steps together toward understanding, healing, and support for mental health. The event, organized by the National Alliance on Mental Illness, drew 177 teams who showed up with matching shirts, signs, and unmistakable heart. As one walker put it, "I'm walking today for all of my family and friends with mental health issues. It's okay. We can all get help." And that's a message worth marching for any day of the week. Held at Perimeter Park, the event paired exercise with expression, artistic activities, good food, and good company. It all added up to nearly 90% of a $160,000 fundraising goal, with dollars going toward free mental health programs across North Carolina. That's the kind of math I like. Effort multiplied by compassion equals hope. Amy Brundle from NAMI said it best, "Today is about drawing a community together to celebrate mental health recovery." And she's right. There's still stigma out there, still too many quiet corners where people feel alone, but not this Saturday, not on that street, not with all those footsteps echoing, "You are not alone." Years ago, we only whispered about mental health like it was something shameful to hide. But seeing that crowd, it felt like watching a secret bloom into a sunflower field, tall, proud, and facing the light. So here's to everyone who walked and volunteered or just showed up to cheer. Morrisville showed that even a 5K can move more than muscles. It can move hearts, carry burdens, and open doors we didn't know how to knock on before. And that, my friends, is something to be proud of this morning. If you enjoyed the podcast today, it's free to subscribe. Hit the like button, give me a review, or tell someone about it. It'll help me. It'll help you too. I love win-win outcomes, and when you hit that like button, it tells the algorithm that this was worth listening to, and that helps more folks find their way here. Thanks for sharing your day with me. I'm Steve, and keep your eyes open today for all the good around you. See ya.